trade in my car, they weren't going. I'm sure the salesmen weren't going to people saying it was driven by Ray Lytle. I'm sure they sold it on the fact that it was a good car.
I mean, I don't.
They didn't hang a sign on it saying it was mine.
What's driven by Ray Lytle needs new shocks.
Oh, how dare you!
I don't think it's that impressive, but people know that this car is made to stand up to punishment because they
You
know I drove
are
it.
an egomaniac. You put
Okay, I
your
gotta ask
name
him.
in the newspaper. All those other used car ads, no one's name is in there.
Right. Have you ever seen Sean get into his car?
Yes.
He has to get in on the passenger side.
Yes.
And crawl
Well, I'm getting that fixed.
Yeah, why can't
down
you
the
get
window
in?
and do it
Why
like
can't you get in on the driver's side?
He can't get his stomach in there.
When I was in an old girlfriend's house.
Yes, and what happened, Sean?
Yeah, it was like, I guess 2 years ago. And I went to open the door handle and too much testosterone. I broke it off in my bare hands.
Yeah.
Only Boleyn.
Crap out of plastic.
All I know is whenever he comes over to my place, my dog starts barking because he can hear him coming from miles
Sure.
away.
What is that? Oh my God!
I'm getting that fixed.
Oh my God! The Chinese have bombed us. Oh, that's just Sean's car.
I like the way he said, too, he has to have air conditioning for
Yes.
the women.
Ray, I
What
have to have air
women-
conditioning for the
what
women that ride.
have
He
you
goes-
had in your car?
Sean says,
Hey.
I don't mind about air conditioning for myself, but Ray, I have to have it for the women that ride in my car.
What
When they're with
women have
me,
you
they
had in
always
your
get
car?
so hot.
I've been
Yeah.
saying I want to take trips to St. Louis, and I
What
couldn't do it.
women have you
your
ever
car
had
would
in your
never
car?
make it to St. Louis. You always have to take their car.
Well, that was the point. I couldn't make some trips because of that.
Not
So
because of the
He's
air.
got
it's
to
just
have the
because
air
your
conditioning
car
or
wouldn't
else the
make
body
it.
will start stinking.
Well,
So he gets a new car. It's a nice car. He's bitching about it when I get in here. Oh, I need a sports car. I don't know why. I got that
Welcome
one.
and thank you
I'm
for
a
choosing.
sports car kind of guy.
Yeah, I would have never
Oh.
thought that.
I am trying to be a player again. And that's
Need the
part of
cards
package.
before you can play the game.
Hey.
Ouch.
You need to know the rules.
Something besides the jokers.
So if anybody looks in the classified section
There are
Jack-
of the
two
State Journal
participants
Register,
in the
then you will
conference.
see an ad for a used
Please
car
announce yourself.
that will say previously owned by Sean Belind.
It's a big selling point.
No,
Because
it's
he
not.
seems
That's
to
like putting
think-
Jim the photographer's name by something in
Yeah.
there. No one's going to
That's
buy
the kind
it.
of thing Jim does. I hope you realize that. That's the kind of thing that Jim
Well,
the
now,
photographer
You know,
does.
Sean does have his name like on all of his clothes.
Exactly the kind of
I
thing
do
Jim
not.
does.
Jim.
You're just a fatter, taller version
I
of
am
Jim.
nothing
He
like
either
that.
has his name on the back of his clothes or else the
You
famous
are a
person.
fatter, taller, heterosexual version of Jim. That's all it is.
I lost all my.
Even the goatee. We should start calling him BJ for
Yeah.
Brunette Jim.
Yeah.
Hey, kids, what time is it?
The alarm clock screams and there's a cat butt in my face. I don't want to get up, face the human race. I take a shower, I take a pee, I drink some coffee, watch some TV. But nothing seems to keep my eyes open. Nothing seems to get my blood flowing. Called up a friend of mine and asked what lights a fire under your behind. He says he spells relief, R-A-Y-L-Y-T-L-E. Have no fear, the gang's all here, so clean out your ears for the morning disaster. They got gas and brass and testes and rock and roll piled up to the rafters. They're really immature and there's no cure, but they'll be your favorite broadcasters. And it's Ray Lytle's morning disaster. It's Ray Lytle's morning disaster. I took my friend's advice to heart. I bought myself an FM radio. Now every weekday starts with a visit from the morning disaster show. And now I spell relief, R-A-Y-L-Y-T-L-E. Have no fear, the gang's all here, so clean out your ears for the morning disaster. She got gas and breast and testes and rock and roll. to the rafters. They're really immature, but there's no cure. But they'll be your favorite podcasters. And it's Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster. And it's Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster.
Good morning, everybody. We are here. It is the Morning Disaster. How you doing, Nick? I see you're just in flannel today. Is he not? Nick?
Stupid mute button. Sorry.
Yeah. There's never been a person alive. Really, that mute button is so annoying. You with that
I
mute
hate it.
button.
I hate it.
Always turning the damn mute button off. Oh, you look good because you got the flannel on. You look like you're getting ready to go saw
It's just
sawdust
plaid.
and
It's not
log.
really flannel.
It's what? It looks like a.
It's plaid.
I'm telling you, it looks like a flannel. Looks like you're getting ready to go saw some logs.
Look manly, right?
Yeah, you like either that or soap or trying to sell a package of brownie. Quicker,
My side gig.
the quicker picker upper. Who else is on? I don't even know. I move things around in my studio, so I can't even. I've got to remember. I have to remember which computer I have to look at now. Just because, yeah. Terry says Nick is wearing the finest in lesbian wear. You look good. So we are
I'm
here.
going to go out and sell some Subaru Foresters today.
Well, perhaps. Maybe this is the way. All right, the phone's already. Are you kidding? The phone's already ringing. Good morning.
It's a good
You're
problem to have,
on
right?
the Morning Disaster.
Good morning, it's listener Adam.
Hey, what's up, Adam? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. I just figured I'd give the system a test call.
Yeah, we got it fixed yesterday.
Yeah, I just figured I'd,
So you were,
give it a test
you're,
before we
you,
go.
yeah, but let's face it. What you're really doing is you're calling to see if it wasn't working.
Well, it's better to check just to make sure.
Yeah, but I mean, the hope was that it wasn't going to work.
No, the hope was that it was
Oh,
gonna
okay.
work.
Well, it is working. It
But it-
sounds, yeah.
Yeah, if it didn't work, then I could go back on, Facebook Live and let you know
Yeah.
before we get really deep into the program.
Yeah, but I know how our listeners are. The hope for them is that something's fucked up. So that it's not just letting us know. It's also having something to tease me about when it goes wrong. I picked this up. I know how our listeners are. It's sort of like, oh, it's not working, Ray. And then it's like, that's never the tone. It's not working, Ray. What did you do? Blah, 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 blah. I can tell. Am I wrong, Nick? Like already,
No, you're not wrong.
I got people saying Nick's mic is clipping. Yeah, it's because I hadn't set the levels yet.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's still early on in the program. So
the phone's
Yeah.
working, which is nice.
yeah, so it's a good start.
And Adam sounds good. Everybody, does Adam sound good on the phone?
Does it sound okay, everybody?
Because Rob from DT Technologies came over and got it fired up and working yesterday. Thank God. At least it's working.
Yeah, it was a rough day yesterday.
Oh,
Put it
dude,
lightly.
I was ready to. I thought I was going to. I cannot even talk about how angry I was, and I wasn't angry. I was just frustrated.
Yeah, it seemed like you were wanting to just pour gasoline on the show and just let
Yeah,
it
and just
blaze
let it,
and watch
I
it
really
burn.
did. I wanted. That's a great description. I wanted to pour gasoline on it, light it up, and then just go take a nap.
Yeah,
But I didn't. I got through the show.
yeah, you did.
I mean, we had a hell of a lot of viewers yesterday.
Yeah,
And and a bunch of new viewers that had never watched the show before, had never listened to the show, and they go and they watch, and of course, there's a
Yeah, that's
A
meltdown.
great first impression.
yeah, that's the one day that we have a system meltdown.
Yeah, Yeah, and we hadn't had the problem before. That's what frustrated me.
Yeah.
And by the way, I appreciate Rocky.
Balin.
Yes, being Rocky, literally just disappearing. Did you? I don't know, Nick, if you were on when that happened or not. He literally just disappeared.
No.
Literally just like, peace, I'm out.
Yeah, nothing, no message, no. Like I thought he'd at least give a message and say, "Oh yeah, I had to leave," but no, just bailed out. Just
No
left me there.
bye, nothing.
Just left me there with Nikki's audio clipping and everything else. Oh my God. But at least it's working now. I'm glad. I'm glad the call and it happened. So yeah, you sound good.
All right, rock on.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, we got through it. How about that, Nick? We got a call. Not bad, right?
I know, right?
Yeah, I love it. I love it, and it worked. It seemed to work really well. Who else is on? Who is there? Someone else?
There's someone else in the.
Yeah, it says there's someone else with us, and I can't hear him.
Hello, gentlemen.
Oh, there we go. Is that Wes? How you doing, Wes?
Hey, good, Ray. How are you guys?
Buddy? Fantastic.
I'm having bad internet problems, so I'm having a little bit of a meltdown myself.
Yeah,
here at home.
I went through it yesterday. I went through it yesterday. Oh my God. I thought I was gonna throw the computer out the window. Oh,
So it was a typical program then?
by the way, 2 calls. I'm already annoyed. Good morning. You're on the Morning Disaster. Hello.
Hey, this is Fat 420.
Oh, what's up, buddy?
I'm calling to see if the phone's working.
Yeah, it works.
Oh, and
Is
that guy that
what today's going to be? Is checking to see if the phone works?
That guy that Doran says that looks and sounds like Jim. Somehow he found my number and he's asking me for front.
You're saying the guy that Doran said looks and sounds like Jim, that guy is asking you for fronts?
Yeah, and I told him
that code for penis?
I only will do it for Ray. So.
Jim used to ask Fat 420 guy for fronts all the time. He'd go, hey, give me some fronts, which is he wants the pot, okay, but he doesn't want to pay for it until a later date. Can you front me some?
Oh, so he was the wimpy of
like,
marijuana.
He's like,
yes.
hey, he's like, hey, Fat 420, can you give me some little bit of weed? I'll pay you back here in another week. I'm like, you can barely pay for your own. What makes you think you're going to pay me back in a week?
By the way, he never did. He never paid you back in just a week. It always took following him around.
I don't even think he ever paid me back at all.
That's great. Thanks, man. 420.
All right. Have a good one.
Yeah, Jimmy never paid anybody back. I think he died owing me money. In fact, I know he died owing me money. But the thing with Jim and people like Jim, we all have somebody like Jim in our lives. Wesley probably died owing you money. When
I think he did, yeah.
When you loaned Jim money, whenever you loaned him money, you just part of you sort of expected to never get paid back.
Yeah, it was just like burning it in front of you.
Yeah.
Like it's gone.
Like if he paid you back, and Jimmy did pay me back some money that I'd given him once. He paid me back. This is during the disaster days, and I remember being actually pleasantly shocked that he paid back money because it seemed like it was never going to happen.
But then he tried to borrow it immediately afterwards.
Yeah, but at least he paid some back. It was shocking. And I think he paid some back to Sean once too. Good morning. You're on the Morning Disaster.
Good morning, Ray. I did not get the chance to do this yesterday, so Ray Lytle's technical difficulties.
Yeah, that was the description of the whole show yesterday. I was at the end of my rope. I was so angry. So angry. But
You know what Jim would do when he went to pay me back? I don't know if he ever did this to you, but he'd be like, "Hey, I got that $20 that I owe you.
yeah.
Unless you don't need it."
Yeah. You're right. That's exactly. Or else he'd do this. He'd go, "Hey, after the show, I've got in my wallet, I have blah 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 to pay you back." Oh, cool, Jimmy. And then he'd always point out in my wallet. And then at the end of the show, we would have a meeting. And he would always go to reach it as well. He goes, "Oh, I forgot my wallet at home. I'm so sorry." So I mean, I learned all this bullshit with paying you. You knew when you gave him money, odds are I'm not going to see this money again. Like odds are.
Yeah, and he put you in that position where you didn't want to feel guilty, so you'd be like, "No, I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't need it."
And he knew that. He knew ways to to borrow money from you and never pay it back and have you feel and let you feel okay about it.
And he was so damn charming that it didn't really even ever bother me.
Yeah. He
It
was.
just there was something about him, where he could get away with anything.
Yeah, but I think he knew it. I don't think he ever.
Oh yeah, he exploited it.
I don't think he had any intention whatsoever of ever paying me back. And the thing with Jimmy, he would literally borrow money from anyone. I'm serious. Like someone would just show up, all right, who maybe we've never met before or whatever, and they would have a horrible story. And he would, a horrible story about how, my wife and I lost our home, or, so-and-so in our family's going through cancer. We're doing a fundraiser, and they'd come on the show to promote it, right? He would hit them up for money. He would hit that person up for money. The guy was unbelievable.
He would always try to one-up your misery.
Yes. All right, let me take it. Good morning. You're on the Morning Disaster. Hello.
Good morning, Ray. This is Rob.
Hey, Rob. What's up, buddy?
Well, speaking of Jimmy and borrowing money, he never borrowed money, but he did scope a lot of dope off me and a lot of alcohol of mine.
That's what he does.
He used to come over to Jacksonville every once in a while, and we'd always run into him. And he would just be like, "Hey, what you guys doing?" I'd be like, "Oh, we're going to have an after party. You want to come over?" Yeah, man, that dude would smoke so much of my weed. I mean, I'm like, God, man. I mean, it's not a career choice. Calm down. We got plenty. Oh, it's all right. Let's fire up another one. And he just smoked the shit out of it.
He would always be the one suggesting, "Hey, let's dip more into your stash."
Yeah. Let's go ahead and fire up another bowl and be like, "Oh, I'm all out."
God.
And that was the night that I got pissed off. About 3:30 in the morning, and locked his keys in his ambulance with the siren and the lights on. I got mad as hell because I went to go grab my weed when I left, and there was like hardly any.
Actually, Jimmy would smoke all of it.
Yes, he would. Like I crashed out about 2:15 after the bars because I've been out at the bars, pretty much all day having a good time, And he stayed up, and then I get up, and he's like, "Oh yeah. There's not very much left." "Oh, thanks, jackass." And so I go outside, and my girlfriend and I were walking out, and she was like, "Whose ambulance?" And I was like, "Oh." So the keys were in the ignition, so I locked all the doors, climbed through it, locked all the doors, turned the lights and sirens on, and locked the door and shut it.
Oh,
and it took him an hour and a half to get that thing unlocked with the lights and sirens going off at 3:30 in the morning. So I feel like he could smoke my weed because that was the best ever,
He was such a trip, man.
He was, but he was a good time. He really was a good time.
Yeah.
It was just, you knew that if he was coming to your house, you were losing your food, losing your alcohol, and losing your weed.
And You had to be okay with him not paying. If you ever gave him money,
Oh.
you had to be okay with him not paying you back. You
And
knew,
and then after my cousin, that's whose house we were at. He hit him up for $20 for gas to get back to Springfield. That piece of shit. So, you know, hey, we invited. It's almost like paying for Paris Hilton to show up at your club. You know. It was just you just knew you were going to lose some money that night.
You knew you were going to lose money, but you knew that he would be there. You know.
I partied with him quite a bit. He would always come over here and he would, yeah, I had a DJ show. What kind of DJ did you do? Oh, some kid's birthday party. I'm like, and we would always make fun of him, like, you know, they let you around children, you know, that type of deal. But he would always be up at the bars at the end of the night. And I started drinking about 4. And I'm like, didn't you say you did a kid's party? Yeah.
He
You were drinking at a kid's party.
He doesn't care.
Yeah. He didn't give 2 shits. He really didn't.
He would go do a high school prom or a high school dance, and he would find whatever teacher that was a chaperone. He would find them and go smoke weed with them during the day and smoke their weed during the dance. That was Jimmy.
Makes me feel so good about sending my children to dances and stuff like that.
He would always find. He had a radar. He would always find the other pothead in the room.
Tell me where he was at when we were growing up, because that'd have been the best dance ever. They had the most strict, you know. Oh my God, they were terrible people that wouldn't let you sit within a foot, you know, all that crap when we had dances and stuff. So I mean, where was he at when I was growing up? Because that'd have been great. I'd have been willing to give him some of my weed then.
He once did a dance in Mount Pulaski or Clinton early during the disaster years. He did a dance, and number one, he was going around talking to girls, finding out which ones were 17. Because one thing about Jimmy knew every state's legal limit.
Knew the age.
Yeah, he knew
the legal age.
Yeah, the age of because it changes. I don't know. Most people just think it's 18. But I remember, I remember Jimmy. He would literally check the state statutes for what was a legal adult in Illinois and Missouri. So God forbid have you ever had sex with a girl that was under that certain age? So he was going around finding out which girls were 17 because that was the legal age.
That's just terrible.
Yeah,
it's like shopping. It's like he's going shopping.
Then he smoked weed with some teacher that was
You're not a felony anymore. Yeah.
Hey, in Kentucky, old enough to get
but
married.
But here's the thing. Just imagine that girl now knows for the rest of her life that she slept with the creepy high DJ guy. You know. So when was your
That's a
first
gift that
time?
keeps on giving.
Well, there was this DJ. He's dead now. You know. I mean, come on. Ugh.
She smoked pot with a regionally famous creepy old DJ guy.
Regionally famous.
That's awesome.
All right, buddy. Well, you have a good day, man. You got to be careful.
Thanks for fixing the phones. They sound good.
No worries. No worries at all. Bye.
Yeah, it sounds good. Rocky, the phones work. Do you hear?
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh my God, I was so mad yesterday. I thought my head was gonna explode. Hey, by the way, did you hear the stories that we're telling this morning about Jim the photographer borrowing money? When you loaned Jim money, and I know he hit you up. I don't know what your philosophy was in giving.
I never loaned him money.
I think you were the one that was smart enough.
I learned from other people's mistakes.
I think you were the one that was smart enough to say,
started.
He'll never pay me back. With him, it was constantly. He found the most clever ways to not pay me back. It was unbelievable. He always, like, here's another thing he was good at. He'd say, hey, you got $20 you can lend me? And I said, Jimmy, I would, bud, but I've only got so much cash, and I'm planning on going to lunch today. And then he'd do this. Oh, where are we going? And he would find a way to invite himself to lunch.
Yeah. the thing he would always do to me was, you know, hey Rocky, can you take me to wherever? And you know, my band's in the shop, and it was always in the shop. It was just sat there at Shainer's, basically.
And he just
any vehicle he
just
had,
bad
I
talked
always had some
Shaner
issue.
behind his back. Yeah.
And it's like, you know, sure, okay, and then you know, it would end up stopping 5 or 6 different places that were all over. You know, well, we're right by Chatham. Might as well whip on by when you know we're downtown Springfield.
We had you. I'm sure you remember this. There was an actual incident on the show. I have it on tape somewhere. I gotta find it, but we would have writing meetings ever so often, and we had a meeting. I want to say it was at my house, or we had a meeting at a location outside of town. And when we have these meetings, someone in the show would always volunteer to bring food. Sometimes we would just, you know, I would just get whatever, like, or my wife would make something or whatever. But in this particular occasion, Jim shows up with a bunch of pizzas, okay? And he goes, hey, here you go. I brought pizza for everybody. And everybody was like, oh, my God. They were shocked that Jim brought pizza. And this is what the argument was. And it seems ridiculous now, but Sean Bullitt was there, and Sean goes, Jimmy, how much do these pizzas cost? And Jimmy goes, just chip in $10 or whatever the amount. I can't remember the amount.
Right,
$5.
yeah.
And so everyone starts chipping in money. And I reached in and I grabbed out $40. I go, here you go, buddy. You know, this is very nice of you to bring the pizza. And I give him $40, and Sean also gave, you know, like 10. And I think everybody chipped in like $10, right?
Right.
And then
Well, almost everybody.
yeah. And then he goes, we find out like the next day that he somehow connected with the guys that own the Godfathers. And he got to know them.
Not the guy that ran for president.
No.
Ben, whatever.
Yeah, no, he went, he connected with the guys here in town, and they had Godfathers on Dirksen, and then they had one in Chatham. And so he got to know them, and on that particular day, he called them and said, hey, I'm going to be in Chatham. And they said, oh, stop on by for a pizza. And he goes, hey, could I get like 4 of them? And they're like, yeah, just come on by, Jim. We found out that he went to Godfathers and got free pizza that he picked
And then
up.
charged you guys for it.
And then charged us. And by the way, he didn't charge us. We offered it, and he accepted.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess there is a difference, a stipulation. I mean, I guess that is a difference. But the whole thing
usually
is,
what he would do is that he would be back the next, 2 days later wanting a free pizza. I mean, he worked that out with like several. I remember there was a place in the mall, the Great Baked Potato something.
Yeah.
And that's how that started. Just, hey, we love listening to you. Come on down and have a free meal. And that turned into like free meal Tuesday, Thursdays.
Anyone who said, hey, we love the show, come on by and we'll give you something for free. Anyone who did that soon regretted it with Jimmy, because
He saw that as a free tab.
Yeah. He
that
would
could come back
abuse
for.
he would abuse whatever privilege that was as much as possible. It is unbelievable how much he would I mean, literally, businesses would be losing money and about to close. And they'd be like, oh, we're hit by rough times. We might have to close. Oh, really? So you're going to give me a free pizza or not? That would be Jimmy. He would still keep going by and ruining the whole show's reputation. But I remember everybody being angry at him because when we had the argument.
I don't think he'd say it quite so coarsely, though, like, hey, that's too bad. Give me a free pizza. He'd be like, oh, yeah, times are tough everywhere. I can't even afford to eat. That's why I depend on the free pizza that you give me, or else I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably starve. Yeah, times are hard. I agree. You're right. That's a Jim the photographer
You're
line.
probably right. Oh, God.
Yeah, he'd really lay on the guilt thick.
Yeah,
Right.
he knew how to lay on the guilt. There was no doubt about it. God bless him. I just remember. I remember. I want to say it was Mikey or somebody that made the big deal about it. And they're like, and him going, "Wait a minute! Doesn't everybody see what he did? He went and got a free pizza. He knew it was free pizza, and then he brought it here to the meeting, making all of us think that he paid for the pizza until everybody gave him the money. He walked away, and Mikey pointed out how much money. And I remember him. He was in the studio that next show, which I don't remember if this is a Saturday night or a Sunday night, whatever we did. But he was on the show on that Monday or whatever, adding up. So-and-so give you so-and-so give you so much. Ray gave you 40, or he goes, that dumbass Ray gave you $40, and I was sitting right there, by the way. And he was adding up how much money that Jimmy had made. He goes, you made over $100 on us being suckers over pizza that you got for free. And I just remember
he would say it wouldn't matter. The pizza tastes the same.
Yeah,
doesn't matter to you.
That was his argument. He goes,
I remember he made the argument one time that he paid. I don't remember if it was pizza or not, but he paid for that with his celebrity. And his celebrity is worth so much, like anybody that would give a speaking engagement. So it's like, you wouldn't have been able to get that, not obviously not you, but somebody else would not have been able to get that pizza because they don't have the celebrity. That, it's like a collateral.
Oh my
capital.
God. It was unbelievable.
So yeah, monetizing his celebrity, it's worth at least a free pizza.
I just remember us, like Bodine and guys who didn't make a lot of money, being so pissed when he would do that crap on the show, and saying we should get paid back, Jimmy, and Jimmy would not see the logic in it. Well, that just seems really unfair.
I forgot my wallet. Sorry, guys.
He had paid with his celebrity. And now you're expecting him to give you your money back.
Yes, the money that you offered. By the way, if he just said, oh, yeah, these pizzas, it would have been fine if he would have come to the meeting and said, hey, guys, these pizzas are compliments of Godfathers. And by the way.
No way. Everybody would have wanted their money back. Come on now.
Well, that's what I mean. He would have never offered the money. But I'm saying, here's what I'm saying. The good thing we would have done is
like he's gonna launder his celebrity through pizza to get money.
On Monday's show, we would have said, we would have ended up going, hey, by the way, thanks to Godfathers who sent us by some pizzas for our staff meeting. You know what I mean? We would have thanked them, which is, by the way, that's why Godfathers gave us the pizza. They give you, the understanding is you give them a plug, I mean, Rob from DTE Technologies, he fixed the computer yesterday, right? He fixed it, did not charge me. He just came over and fixed it. Now, he's a friend of mine, but the understanding is that Ray, if you talk about who fixed the computer, make sure to mention DTE Technologies. That's how that works. Jimmy would have
mentioned who?
DTE Technologies, Rocky. The number is 408-0001.
Wait. What's that number again?
408-0001. So that's how it's supposed to work. But Jimmy would conveniently forget that part, so it would benefit him. Pardon my sneezing. Pardon my COVID, everyone. Oh, my God. Yeah, so all the time.
I down here have seen how Jim the photographer might have operated it, and he's still been around in this like a newer, like more internet-driven society. When I was working down here, it didn't matter which station, and whatever building I was in or group I was with had a variety of music stations. So you had country station, rap station, and pop station, all this different stuff. And there was this couple, man and a woman, who would go to every single radio remote and just grab all the free stuff they could find and all the free food or whatever. And it didn't matter if it was the modern rock station, the country station. They would sit at home and like go on this every station's website and find out where they were all going to be, and it was just this nonstop hang around remote broadcast for like 2 hours.
So they
just,
wouldn't even listen to the stations. They would just use their website, find out where they're going to be, and then show up.
No, I don't know what they listened to. They couldn't have listened to all of them because they would do literally. I mean, I worked for 2 different radio groups down here, so that's like a total of 9 stations. They were at all of them.
Unbelievable. Yeah,
and the best one was when, the free food, whatever, they would stand around and eat all the pizza because they'd be at the thing for the entire 2 hour, whatever. But the best one was when there was this shoe store, huge shoe store with a huge event that was actually catered by this Italian whatever. So they had the, they have those dishes out with the burners under them and whatever. It was that fancy. It wasn't just like free pizza. They had the stuff in it.
Like you're gonna get some hot mostaccioli.
8 o'clock. What's that?
You're gonna get some hot mostaccioli.
Right. Yeah, it was that kind of stuff. And so the thing ends at 8 o'clock or whatever. So at 8 o'clock on the dot, this woman and her husband whip out these bags they've had in their
my God.
back pocket and start scooping the food into the bags. You're like, what are you doing? It's 8 o'clock. It's over. It's like, but you don't get to decide. You know what? It's in plastic bags now. Never mind.
We're just gonna take the remnants home. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and just but I don't know. It's not like they had time to go to all of these events all over the city, all over different parts of 2 different states. So I don't know what.
You see, and that's the worst.
Transportation and
that's the worst because they would when you're talking about these prize pig type people, the worst would be when they would show up at a remote, okay, and they're getting all this free stuff. And then, somebody would walk up, and they would start talking to that person, and then they start going, oh, well, I don't know. I don't listen to this station. What I listen to is blah, 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 and they're great, blah, blah. You know what I mean? They end up actually hurting your cause because they're talking about things to other listeners that are showing up, which are
loudly. And it's never quietly well, I don't really listen. I'm just here for the free crackers or whatever. It's always, oh, yeah, no. I listen to such and such. Oh, my God, yesterday morning they had me on the floor with those celebrity birthdays or, whatever. But, yeah.
I'm telling you.
Or they show up to the thing with a shirt from a different station.
Yeah, promoting another station. I have no tolerance for that. I have no patience. I wouldn't mind to throw them out.
My favorite thing to do is when they show up because they're trying to start something, showing up to it, come on, and then just look at them going, oh, that's our company too. They're actually the studio next to ours, so it's good. And they get this look like, damn, award is here for nothing.
Just the worst. The people you're describing are the worst people. And
I mean, but these 2 especially, they were like the pinnacle of prize pig is, I guess, what you said. Yeah, the absolute were these 2. I mean, notorious. Just wow. And it makes me think of that, that's Jim the photographer on steroids for 2020.
It's
or I guess 2019. Jimmy, it wouldn't be happening
with
now.
Jimmy, you confuse a lot. You forget a lot of the horrible things that Jim did because he brought so much to the table.
Right.
He was so I forgave Jim many indiscretions and bad decisions because the guy was so freaking talented, But the listeners you're describing, they don't have any redeeming qualities whatsoever.
Oh no.
So I've never understood.
No, Jim the photographer had a huge heart. I mean, that's why everybody loved it.
I've never understood anyone still being nice to people like that. I would kick them out in a heartbeat. Get them the hell out of here. The type you're describing.
It's hard to do though sometimes. I mean, people can be wherever they want.
The type you're describing, the type you're describing, the type that I would go to RTQ or Spanky or whoever was doing security, and I would say, get them out of here. Well, I don't want.
No, I
those.
remember that.
And I remember them being asked to leave and people being angry, but I didn't care. I'll tell you, I was the same way at Nitty Pickle Show. You come in and, I don't know anything about this band. What the band I like is blah, 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 blah. It's like, get the hell out of here. We're trying to entertain you for free, and you're going to sit here and badmouth? Get the hell out.
Right.
Unbelievable. Any of you guys ever take plastic bags to a radio remote? Nick, you haven't lived till you've stolen Mosacholi from a radio remote.
Right.
In your plastic bag.
I mean, not even loading up bags with like shirts or CD. I mean, food.
You're talking like a Walmart plastic bag.
Yeah.
What was it? Yeah, well, I don't know if it was as thin as that, but it was like one of the better, like from a restaurant. But yeah, that type.
Okay. God. And they're filling it up with Mosacholi and bread or whatever. And
yes.
This is going to be our kids' dinner tonight.
Which, if people are destitute, if they've got to, you got to do what you got to do. I get it. Tell me, I'm unemployed. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not trying to put bad karma out. However, these people were everywhere all the time, 2 different states. So I just want to make that clear. These people had transportation. These people did not look like they were doing this so their kids could eat, or else the kids don't. I don't even know if they had kids, but it was not a situation like that.
I'm saying that there's a difference in what Rocky is describing is these people would show up at your radio station's remote that you are doing it. The only reason radio stations have a remote to either plug the client or plug their radio station. People like this would show up. They weren't listeners. They weren't going to support the client. They weren't going to support the radio station. In fact, a lot of times they would go, I'm sure these people would go and contradict the message that the radio station was trying to portray.
Yeah, screaming out how much they love another station or whatever.
These are the people.
Yeah, we're not talking about like super fans or whatever that are always like there and always like want to participate. And
those are the ones you want to take.
It's like the opposite of that.
Yep.
like the prize pig people.
Yeah.
The ones that just show
that's
up
what they're called.
Yeah. Terry's saying. Terry says that he's seen plenty of people at buffets load up in Ziploc bags. What?
At least that's a Ziploc.
People bring a Ziploc bag to a buffet. I mean, you do understand I haven't been to a buffet in a long time, but when you pay a price at a buffet, you're paying for all you can eat while you're there. You don't get to bring bags home and put extra fried chicken or whatever in the bag and take it home.
I come from people that would totally do that. I don't know if it'd be a Ziploc bag. It'd be like a purse, like take just like a slip an extra chicken leg in the purse. That's my people.
Unbelievable.
I'm from Granite City. Come on.
Good morning. You're
chicken
on the Morning
leg in
Disaster.
The purse. Nobody's not going to do that.
Hello?
But there's a difference between being a poor family and putting a chicken leg in a purse than there is going to websites and figuring out where all the radio stations are and being absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I just don't understand people. I just don't. Like right now, if someone came into our chat room right now, if someone came in the chat room and said, I'm not listening to this show. Ugh. I'll tell you, what I like is Bob and Tom. You guys should go listen to Bob. That would piss me off. Good morning. You're on the Morning Disaster.
Sorry about that, guys. I think my Bluetooth screwed up.
Was that you who just called and hung up?
Yeah, that was me. I didn't hear anything. I think it was my Bluetooth, Ray. But you guys were talking about different people that show up at radio remotes. When I was working for the station down in New Mexico, I mean, we had such a small group of broadcasters there. It didn't matter which station was out. We all went and helped each other out on the different remotes, and I saw those people all the time. It was ridiculous.
Rocky's specifically talking about people that show up at the remote that don't give a shit about your radio station or your radio station's remote or the client you're trying to help or whatever. They're just there to get free stuff and go home. In fact, a lot of times they end up contradicting your message because it makes other people there wonder what's going on.
Well, like the country station that I worked for at the time, we were having a fundraiser for wounded warriors at one of the local bars, and there was listeners that listened to the hip hop station that showed up that were there just to scam free drinks. And I'm going, you got to be kidding me.
This is the kind of stuff. This is the kind of stuff that drives radio people crazy. That we don't, people and businesses don't mind giving stuff away, but you got to get some kind of benefit out of it.
Right. And again, somebody was in the chat room talking about like putting in chicken wings because they were in college and they were poor. Again, people doing whatever they can. I'm talking about professional con artists, basically.
Nobody cares. Like when I was at WWCT in Peoria, we knew that there were poor guys that lived over. Sorry, TJ. We knew there were poor guys that lived at Bradley that wanted to come out to like one of our Finally Friday events and eat. That's fine. That we can have fun, eat, drink. You know, we're talking about. But yet we also knew they listened.
Right.
The difference is when you get people that don't even listen. If they're finding that you're going to be somewhere by going to your website and saying, "Oh, they're going to be here," the understanding is in radio. The understanding is that they're coming there to either see you, the radio station, or the client who you're doing the remote for, because you want to help them out too. And then these people show up and all they care about.
One of the worst part is you have people that are listeners all the time and that you've actually kind of become you've developed sort of a relationship with.
Yeah.
And they might come to your event a little bit later or whatever. You want to give them a T-shirt.
Yeah.
You want to give them free food. You want to give them something to show appreciation. And you can't because the professional prize pigs have already been through and wiped you out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think that happened so much with the Morning Disaster, but that happened to me a lot down here. It's like you see people that, they know everything about the station. And you appreciate it. You want to give them something, and there's nothing because you've been wiped out.
Like I would say, the people that are our chat room audience is a good example. You've got your hardcore super listeners. All right. I mean, our biggest audience, and I think I've said this before, our biggest audience will be people right now that are listening to just the audio feed. The biggest audience is people who you'll never see in the chat room. They'll be listening on either on the apps, or the Android or the iPhone app, or just the desktop or whatever, or Alexa. Like I think PD was in here. He says he listens to Alexa most of the time. They'll be listening on that, and then they will be later on. You know what I mean? They might listen to replays. There's people who just listen throughout the day. Okay, but then you have the people in the chat room who are super dedicated listeners. So if we have, when this pandemic shit's over, we have a place that says, why don't you guys come by and do something here? And we decided to, it's not something we don't usually do. We would never usually do remotes, but say we're going to do, hey, come join the show. We're going to record a live Friday show or whatever at this location. And so say we go to a location and everybody from the chat room shows up, right? You guys are fans of the show. I'm sure whatever place we would be promoting, you would be interested in the place. Now say a bunch of people who don't even listen to the program, they don't give a shit about the show. They don't give a shit about the client. Say a bunch of them show up, and the reason they show up is we're going to have free pasta when we're doing the live broadcast or when we're recording the podcast. And a bunch of people show up and they just go to eat they don't care who's doing any broadcast. They're just coming up for the free pasta. It would piss everybody off. That's what Rocky's talking about. Like these people have no stake in anything other than taking care of themselves to get as much free shit as they possibly can.
And then, like I said, somebody that you want to have free pasta and you want to actually sit down and maybe hang out with for a minute and talk to and get to know because they listen to you all the time. There's no pasta for them because somebody already came and scooped it up into into a plastic bag.
Yes. Like, yeah, we're having a pasta, and then
I mean, really, that is like the worst part because people get so disappointed, and then there's like, what can you do? I mean, it's not like we can say no, you can't have that to the people that had it, the people that come by earlier. So
I'm saying I would.
Well,
I would.
But now that we live in the internet age, we can actually take pictures of them and shame them.
Yeah. Put pictures.
Well,
the anonymity's gone.
Large companies, they don't want to do any picture taking, posting, shaming, because then you get lawsuits and you get
Well, we
get
did
people playing it real safe.
We did.
So it's like, let them have the T-shirt type of.
I want to say back during
mentality.
the disaster radio days, and Wes, correct me if I'm wrong because you were part of this. I don't know if you remember or not, but we did a remote or we did the Ray Lytle show because I couldn't call it the Morning Disaster then because of certain reasons, but Jimmy and I broadcast live from New Age Tattoos, and the big prize, and everybody from Disaster Radio came by because Jason from New Age was going to do like an $80 tattoo, whatever it was. He was going to do some sort of free tattoo. When you showed up, you could sign up for it, and it was a big prize. All right, if you're big into tattoos or whatever, it's especially a good prize. And so we were there broadcasting live, and some guy shows up who obviously had no idea who we were or what we were doing. And then he innocently asks someone, I can't remember, somebody tells him everything. And the guy comes up to me and says, hey man, I'm going to sign up for this. And he wanted me to give him a slip. And I said, no. He goes, why? And I said, because I don't want you winning it. And he goes, well, what the fuck? Well, who the hell are you? And I'm like, I'm the one that's responsible for this contest.
Here's the one where I want to
said,
interject. I remember
why
Ray
don't you tell? Yeah, I said, why don't you tell me? He goes, who are you? I go, why don't you tell me who I am? Because if you don't know who the fuck I am, then you don't deserve to be signing up for this. And Wes, for some reason I remember you being there. It might not have been you. I might be misremembering, but I remember there was somebody. It was me, Jimmy, and somebody else. And I want to think that it was you doing Kip. But I don't remember all of it.
Yeah, I remember that contest. There were a lot of people like that throughout that time that just wanted free things at remotes,
And I'm like, if you don't know who I am, then this is not for you. What's for you is we had Eurostop there, which is right next door to New Age Tattoos. We had Eurostop that were making free burgers and stuff. If you remember, Eurostop made a bunch of food, and I said, you're welcome to get some food, but you're not signing up for this tattoo. Because this guy was a guy that was there to get a tattoo and pay for it from Jason. Now, we are promoting to our listeners to get a tattoo where the price would be covered. I would be damned when I was going to take away a customer from Jason who had no idea what was going on, but just wanted to sign up. So I wouldn't let him sign up. And the guy was pissed. And I remember saying, I don't care. You don't even know who I am. I mean, no offense, but if somebody comes into the Morning Disaster and I'm like, well, what is my name? They don't know my name? Well, what the hell? I'm sorry. What the hell? You don't even know me? What the hell do you?
All I remember about that is Jim had a whole box of Ziploc bags.
I almost spit my coffee out.
I think those were for panties, though. I don't think those were for Mussolini.
Oh, I thought it was for the Eurostop stuff.
Yeah.
Or whatever he could get.
Jim did leave with several euros and several cheeseburgers, if I remember correctly. No, but I mean that shit just pisses me off. And I just thanks for bringing up Prize Pig.
It's like the professional panhandlers that put on a costume all day and then they get done and go to their nice car and leave.
That's the thing. These are professional con artists. Those are the people I'm talking about.
By the way, can I go back to the beginning of the show I don't know if you heard it or not, but the bit we played before the beginning of the show was Sean Balint. Rocky, tell me if you remember this. If you remember this, Sean Balint selling a used car and putting in his newspaper ad, car once owned by Radio's Sean Balint.
Yes.
If people want to know where Radio Sean Balint came from, it was that ad. And
that's right. That is right. Yeah, I heard the end of that.
And those of us
this morning
wondering why we shame Sean to this day was because of that ad he put in the newspaper in, I think, 97, 90, whatever.
Yeah, well, if you've been around as long as we were, we got to see the whole Sean Balint like arc of celebrity or
he honestly
self-involvement or whatever. And,
he honestly thought people would pay more money for this shitty used car. By the way, I don't know who would buy that piece of junk. But he was under the impression that people would pay more for that shitty car because it was once owned by Radio Sean Balint. If you missed that, you want to go back and
that was 100% real. I remember that.
You want to go back and listen to the video because it's on the video. I think I started the show before that bit.
Well, I don't know if everybody heard that, but the audio was really distorted. It didn't clear it up all of a sudden.
What happened? I'll tell you what happened is I hit the button, the audio send button was hit, and it was cranked up too loud. That's what it was. And as soon as somebody brought it up in the chat room, I think it was Pete or Rob or somebody in the chat room, and then I put it down. I was like, oh crap, because I had bumped the thing last. I was working on the sound issues last night, and I had bumped it to where the audio was super loud. That's why it was so loud. So we fixed it, but I don't know if
did he keep the empty fast food bags in the floorboard to add value as well?
Yeah, like it's just one. I mean, come on. Oh my God. That one time.
Yeah, I remember that. Previously owned by Sean. I think we put the radios in there, but definitely said previously owned by Sean Balint.
It was in the newspaper. That was the ad he was running.
And it wasn't like we told him to put it in the newspaper.
No.
Let's make a bid. It just showed up in the newspaper.
He was unbelievable. He honestly thought they would somehow. And then his thing is like, well, when you sold your used car, I said, I didn't put an ad for my used car in the newspaper saying it was once owned by Ray Lytle. Who would give a shit?
I loved my line too that I had.
You had a line that ended the whole thing that we wrapped up the whole thing.
I'm talking about the line right there where I said previously owned by Ray Lytle just needs new shocks.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I was so sassy back then.
It was a good line though. It was funny.
I don't remember the ending line.
You gave the line at the ending, and I can't remember what it was, but it was hysterical. That's how we wrapped it all up. Was
I don't know.
Whatever line you gave.
Well, it was wrapped up with my line because I'm the one that edited the replay.
I gotta find what that was. Hold on, let me play that. Hold on.
So
did you read the classified section
up.
of the newspaper, Rocky?
Yeah, I did.
There was some person who was such.
We should start calling him BJ for
Yeah.
Burnett.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. We start seeing he's just like Jim, and Rocky says, "Listen to how we ended it." Okay.
Is his name on the back of his clothes, or else the
You are a
person.
fatter, taller, heterosexual version of Jim. That's all it is.
I lost on my.
Even the goatee. We should start calling him BJ for
Yeah.
Burnett Jim.
Yeah.
We should start calling him BJ for Burnett Jim.
It was very funny. It's a very
robot
funny line.
talking.
When he comes back, he might call back today. He tried to call yesterday. At least he sent me a message saying, "I tried to call yesterday, but it's out. You're having some problems." If he calls today, we should call him BJ.
Your voice really hasn't, because you had been doing like talk radio for a while, obviously, when you started the Morning Disaster. But my whole career, it's like started with this show and just listening to old things back, and just the way I sounded was
How about your?
amusing to me.
It was so. You know what?
Insert funny line here.
Yeah.
Right.
But I still love the funny lines. I mean, that's it made so many bits better. It's hard to get those funny lines because not everyone can come up with those funny lines. Hello.
But it sounds almost like I went through like puberty or something while I was on the morning show.
You're on the morning
I think
disaster.
I was like, what, 21 or
Hey,
something,
man.
or 22?
Hey, what's up, Derek? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. We got our phones fixed. Yay.
I see that.
Yeah. How you doing, partner?
I'm good. A little dead around here today, but we're good.
Yeah.
The rain's kind of put a damper on things, but that's all right.
Yeah, when it rains, do people still go buy Recon? I mean,
We do a lot of interiors. We notice on days that it's raining. Yeah, we have our few customers says, hey, go ahead and wash my car, but leave it inside and we'll pick it up tonight.
oh, hey, let me ask
So
you. I got to ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. My wife has a car. It's a couple years old or whatever, but she said that now I have leather seats, but she has, and I don't know because I'm never in her car. She has cloth seats. And I told her, I said, because we were talking about this is, I don't know why anyone would care, but we have to bring by a new a thing for Derek for Recon because, for the advertising stuff. And I tell my wife, or my wife goes, she goes, do you want me to swing that thing by for Derek? And I go, you know what? I was going to go and just so I can get a car wash. And she goes, and my wife goes, well, do you think you could take my car? And I go, why? She goes, I want him to look at my seats. And I go, what? And she goes, all right. My wife, she tells me she spilled a huge glass of Coke in her car seat.
Yep.
You're going, yep, like this is not surprising you. This, to me and everybody listening, this is, she said she spilled it. And I'm like, what? And she goes, well, I didn't want to sit in it. So then I put something on top of it. She goes, now I have a big stain in my seat. She goes, I want to talk to him to see if that's something that can be taken out. So let me ask you, can you guys take that out?
We can take it out.
How is that?
We'll shampoo. We've got what we call enzyme, which actually starts to break up and will contract or contaminate that area. So it'll kind of blotch it up. We'll pull it up, then we'll go back through with the carpet cleaner, suck all that stuff up, and it'll be good as new.
So that's how you clean a seat. You treat it like a carpet?
Yep, just exactly like a carpet.
So you can clean. I knew you guys cleaned them. I just didn't know how. You could clean the seat. So do you have any product for a do-it-yourselfer with that?
We do. I have tons of products. We have interior detail sprays, things like that they can actually clean the inside of that car that has the same stuff that we use right here in the shop.
Because like I said, I haven't even been in the car. But she spilled, I don't know when this happened. It seems, sometimes when your wife tells you something and you could tell they've been waiting to tell you.
If it's anything like mine, it's been months to a year before she says anything.
So I don't know when this happened. So I haven't seen it. So Derek, if it's been there a long time, is it gonna be harder to take out, or
Not normally. We usually what we'll do is we'll let it soak a little longer, and then we'll suck it up and clean everything up. The only stains that we normally see that it is hard to get out are red dyes, but we know how to work with those, so we can get those taken out and get that stuff cleaned up.
This is just Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that's no problem at all.
So at least that's what she told me. She goes, it was Coca-Cola. So you're saying, by the way, they're saying in the chat room the same thing that I said. When I took my car to Recon, they got all the farts out of the seat. I'm sure you could pull some Coke out of my way.
We can get parts and everything out.
So that's something that you
Sounds
guys
like a slogan.
Yeah. They can get the farts out. It is. So you're saying that it's not that big. It's not as big a thing as she's making it sound.
No, that's not big at all. Bring it by. We'll get it taken care of for you.
Yeah, I think
You can wait on it.
I'm going to tell her to take it by, Derek, and have them take a look at it.
Yeah, come on by. We'll get it taken care of for you.
Because I don't think that I should be the one shamed for dropping a soda. It wasn't me that did it. If anyone's going to
That's
tease,
right.
if anyone's going to be teased for dropping the soda in the seat, it's going to be her, not me.
Oh, we'll be more than glad to shame her. Not a problem.
I'll have her bring it by then. So you're saying that's not a big thing.
Nope, not a big thing at all. We'll get it taken care of.
So if anybody else has ever spilled a Coke or anything else in the front seat, they do take care of it.
Yep,
and
energy
recon
drinks,
text.
any of that stuff we can get up.
Hey, by the way, I'm not going to say what it is, but I got that picture you sent today.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that is very cool. And I cannot say what it is, but it's a very cool photo that Derek sent me today of a vehicle that they're doing at Recon.
We're pretty excited. That's a new contract that we just received. Eventually, we'll be able to put some of those posts out, but right now they've asked that we not do it.
I don't
so-
blame you. Yeah, I don't blame you.
No.
Yeah, but it was really cool.
Yep, very cool.
And I do want to know the process. So when you guys, you tell me that in person.
Oh yeah,
But,
not a problem.
Hey, Bubba's making period jokes in the
We
chat.
get them out too.
In the chat room. Yeah. Do you take out any period problems in class?
Believe it or not, we've been asked. So yes, we can.
Wow. I'll be done.
We've done gunshot victims. I mean, we do work for insurance companies that, these cars are going to auction and they need to be cleaned up. We've done some work for the police departments, of vehicles that's been, somebody's gotten shot in or somebody's, things like that. So yeah, we can get all that stuff out.
You've taken blood out of cars.
Yes, we have.
Oh my God.
There's actually some pictures out on our Facebook page, I believe, still that a vehicle that was in here that a gentleman was shot in, 7 or 8 years ago, I think it was. And the mom and dad finally got the car back and asked that we get it cleaned up for them because they wanted to use the car again. So.
And you got it cleaned up?
We did. We did. Look like brand new when it walked out the door.
And I can tell you from experience.
Did you get the farts out of the seat?
I can tell you from experience, they do take the farts out of the seat.
Yes, we do.
Trust me. Recon text 670-1132, everybody. That's 670-1132. Oh, and I'm going to go ahead and announce since you're on. But Recon Text is the new sponsor of our apps, guys, the Android and iPhone apps. So I want to thank them for that. So give them a hand for that.
Not a problem.
Thank you, Recon.
We
Awesome.
appreciate you guys.
Hey, listen, and Derek, I'm sorry. Yesterday I couldn't answer the phone. Or I tried to answer the phone, but it
No,
wasn't
you're good.
working.
That's why I sent you a message because it sounded like there was something on our end that was screwed
No,
up.
it was on the computer's end.
Yep.
It got all screwed up. All right, partner. Well, it's good.
All right, good talking to you,
Good
Raymond.
to talk to you, buddy.
All right.
There you go. Derek from Recon Text, guys. 670-1132. Recon Text. They can take the farts out of the seat. They could take Coca-Cola coffee, even blood.
Somebody who's been shot while menstruating and drinking wine. Clean all that up.
They can clean it.
And of course, if you get shot, you probably are they can clean that up too.
It is crazy. Dude, my wife tells me yesterday about this incident that happened in her car, and I'm like, what? And Derek mentioned it there. When a wife tells you, oh, by the way, this happened, it could be something that happened last week, or it could be something that happened last year. But it's my wife. I never drive my wife's car. You know what I mean? I don't know anything, what's going on in that car. She just passed along that she spilled this soda and all that other shit, and didn't know if it was going to be a big deal or not. So that means in case it was a big deal, that's why she wasn't telling me. You know what I mean?
Like every 50s sitcom, like I Love Lucy.
Well,
the whole thing is.
I just wonder what the hell else isn't she telling me? What else is going on that I don't know? Tell you one thing that comes through here a lot.
You'll find out sometime.
I'll tell you
eventually.
I'll tell you what, a lot of fucking Amazon packages come through this house. And any of you, anyone listening who's married, you probably know what I'm talking about. You get all these Amazon packages. I don't even know what the hell's in them, but it seems it seems I'm not opening any Amazon packages. Okay. I'm not opening any, but my wife and daughter seem to be opening a lot of Amazon packages. So I don't know what the hell.
Yeah, somebody's unemployed, brand new roof.
Yes.
A lot of Amazon packages.
But you know what I mean? I'm unemployed.
Yes.
I'm unemployed.
Right.
I don't want a bunch of fucking Amazon packages coming through, and what am I paying for it with?
Is there a job in one of these?
I mean, I hear the people complaining, but I made more money working than being. I keep hearing about all these people on unemployment are making all this money. I don't know who the hell those people are, but I
don't either. But,
I can tell you. Yeah, Eric is saying, he says, oh my God, the Amazon deliveries are out of control here. You know what I'm talking about, Eric. It's the wives. My wife, I don't know what the hell she's buying on Amazon, but I don't have a job. I mean, she's got a job, okay? And I'm glad she has a job, but I'm sorry, I'm unemployed. So that means, we need to relegate a little more of your money to help keep us eating and living.
Yeah, let's set them aside. Let's
yeah, let's we could probably do without makeup from Amazon or whatever the hell's. I don't know what the hell's in any of these packages. I'm just saying there's a lot of Amazon shit coming through here, and I don't know what the hell it is.
Right.
The other day,
you don't see the Amazon package opened.
No,
you don't get an answer later.
No,
it's just
they never go to me and say, "Oh, by the way, we got this." No,
unsolved mysteries.
All I see is the empty boxes being put in the garbage cans. I'm like, wait,
Right.
what? Why is our garbage can filled with Amazon boxes? What the hell is this? The other day, my wife comes home from work. She's like, she goes to the front door. She goes, "Oh, the packages came. Look." She goes, "Oh, we got an Amazon delivery," which happens every day. And then she goes,
"Yeah, that's a perpetual thing."
She grabs this box, right? And then she goes, and one of my cat's names is Opal. And she's like, Opal, hi, baby. Oh, your package came today. And I'm like, what? You're talking to the fucking cat. What the hell? Your package came. She's opening up a package for my cat. And she rips it, and there's all these little mice in this package. And I go, what the hell is that?
Well, I will say I do know what some of the packages are. Some of the packages are for our cat, one of our cats. He has to have special cat food from Australia.
Oh, for God's sakes. What?
Because he has allergies.
Oh,
and so he can only eat like kangaroo and a couple of other things.
So wait,
kangaroo flavored cat food. So that is some of the packages. I do know that.
You have a cat at your house that can only.
Yeah, he was a guest on the show yesterday for like a minute.
Oh, so the cat can only eat kangaroo because it's allergic to
other developed allergies in its old age, and it can only eat kangaroo, duck, and something else.
So
I don't remember what the third one is.
Who orders? Is this Terry?
Just go get some burgers from McDonald's. It's a lot cheaper.
You know what you need is a Ziploc bag.
That's what I said. I know what some of the packages are, but I don't know what the other
is. That
100 are.
Does Terry order that? Is that Terry that orders that stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know what those packages are.
Yeah, my wife.
But not all the other ones.
She grabs a package and goes, "Oh, Opal, look, you got a package." And I'm thinking, wait a minute. The fucking cat has an Amazon delivery. I don't have any Amazon deliveries. The cat has an Amazon delivery. And she pulls out these little mice and gives it to the cat. And then I'm looking at these mice and I go, this is not like a pink colored and blue colored mouse. These are authentic looking toys.
These are like hand woven, like taxidermied actual mice from like the best place that mice could be from, wherever that is.
All I'm thinking is I'm going to be woken up in the morning from her seeing one of those play mice and believing it's a real mouse. That's what's going to happen. So she's going to scream.
Yeah.
And end up, And by the way, this is the cat that went into our garage. You were in our garage the other day, Rocky. The cat went in. All right. So these cats, they go into my garage. For whatever reason, they want to go outside. So they go to the garage door and they meow. And my wife lets them go in the garage. So they go in there, and Opal is a little kid. I mean, she looks like a kitten. She's actually, like 8-10 months old or whatever, but she does it look and act like a kitten. However, if there is a mouse or a vowel, those little vowels, that mouse will catch it. I mean, that cat will catch it like that. It's unbelievable. But here's what she does. She puts it in her mouth. And then when my wife lets the cat in the cat's in the house, the cat has always got a mouse hanging out of its mouth. So my wife is on the phone or something, and she just goes and opens the garage door, and the cats come in. And this has happened more than once. I look over and I see the cats coming in, and I go and I say, "Hey, Opal's got a mouse in her mouth." And my wife, who's never paying attention, she lets them in, she's looking somewhere else, and she opens the door. And I go, "Hey, Opal's got a mouse in her mouth." There's a scream like there's a banshee scream like you've never heard before coming out of this woman's mouth when she realizes her beloved cat has just got a rodent hanging out of its mouth as it walks into the house proudly to plop it down as a gift for one of us. And this has happened more than once. And so one of the times, my wife screams, and it freaks the cat out so much, she releases. She opens her mouth, and the mouse falls out, right? The mouse took off running. It was like my wife is screaming. It was like someone ran into the house with a machete. She was screaming like bloody murder was happening in this house. It was insane. And I'm getting, with my bad knees, I'm getting up trying to catch this stupid mouse as my wife is screaming. Thank God when the mouse is a little, you know what I mean? It's been in the cat's mouth. So the mouse is confused and it's sort of limping around everywhere. And I'm able to go and grab the mouse and open the front door and throw the mouse out the front door so it takes off. But my wife was screaming like it was like imminent death for all of us. The sound of terror.
I mean,
in
if
this
you've got a
woman's
cat, you don't really. I mean, the cat will take care of the mouse.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the cat.
But I was saying, number one, I don't want to just kill I don't want a dead mouse. I don't want to grab the mouse and kill it. I open the front door and just throw the mouse outside and let it run. Because the cat gets the mice. This house doesn't have a basement or anything. It's built on a slab. So there's no mice in the house. There's mice around the house. And there's those vowels, which they're rodents. They're not quite mice, though. They seem to catch some of those. But it's like when they catch the mice, they tend to put it, they want to bring it in the house as a gift, to present a gift to you. And so my problem with my wife is when you have to pay attention when you let the cats in the house, because you never know when they're carrying a mouse in their mouth.
Right.
And if the mouse
we have a screened-in deck, so the cats really never go outside. They just go in that screened-in deck. But there's a rip, I guess, in the very, very top of it. It's too high for them to go. But every once in a while, a bird will get in.
Oh.
So we don't have the mouse thing. We had birds like 3 times, and they'll not only get in the deck, and then they'll get in this little tiny pet door.
Yeah.
They'll find a way in the house, and then you got a bird and a cat in the house.
It's amazing.
That's always fun. And then the cat catches the bird, and then the bird starts screaming, and it's like mice don't scream like birds do. So you've got that added part of a screaming.
Well, then you have the added guilt.
Then you look at the cat in a whole different way, like
Yeah.
it's some sort of monster or savage.
And then you feel guilty because you're responsible for this a bird being dead.
Right.
Karen's in the chat room. She says her previous cat would leave half-eaten bunny carcasses on the front porch almost. Yes. So I'm saying you think of your cats as a wonderful, like during the show, I'll see that cat climbing around Nick's back, and all I'm thinking of, there's that cat climbing around his back now, but sooner or later that cat's gonna have a dead mouse or something in its mouth. And
put that cat out on the grass somewhere and let a rabbit or a mouse walk by. We'll see how
it'll kill it. As sweet as that cat is, if it gets the opportunity, it will kill another animal.
The only thing that keeps us safe is the fact that we're bigger. If they were the size of us, we'd be done. They're little murderers.
If we died,
and we're the food source.
If we died, I'm convinced if I died, my cats would eat me. They would, They would at least eat the fleshy or whatever parts, the soft parts. Probably the eyeballs first, I'd imagine.
I don't know that you'd even have to be dead.
Yeah. I could just be passed out. My cat might, and I don't know how long it would take for the cat to decide it has to eat human flesh, but I don't think it would take that long for my cats. They would probably make the decision pretty quick and say, well, he looks good. Let's go ahead.
3 o'clock.
Let's hear it.
I haven't eaten in a while.
They wouldn't even be starving. They would just be, I'm a little hungry. I could eat him.
Well, the food in my bowl's a little stale.
I could eat. Yeah, why not?
The middle part of the bottom of the bowl is showing, so that means it's empty.
That's one of the things you got to remember about cats is they will eat another animal. They're not like a dog. A dog won't do it to a dog. There is some things that a dog will kill, but it's very rare. Your cat will kill anything, and you have to pay attention. If your cat goes out and in, you have to pay attention when you let it back in because you never know what it has. And in my case, one of my cats will have a dead mouse hanging out of its mouth. Fat 420 says his cat was the laziest cat he ever saw. He saw a mouse run across the room, and he looked at the cat and said, "Are you going to get it?" And the cat looked at him, meowed, and went back to sleep. Yeah, no, you got to get up. If you have
a response.
If you have a cat, it's got to be a mouse, just in case you ever get mice.
I just looked it up, and it said that cats are responsible for up to 20 billion mammals being murdered every year.
I'm telling you.
Does that include like cats like tigers and lions? And
No, just regular house cats.
Are responsible for how many deaths?
20.7 billion mammals and up to 4 billion birds.
There you go.
So that doesn't even include birds.
Yeah, they're their own category. That's what our pets will kill. Hey guys, BJ's on the phone. Hi, BJ. BJ Blint.
Oh.
How are you?
Oh, I'm all right.
Let me recap. Before you joined us, before the show started today, I played a bit of Sean Balint selling a used car, and let me just play a second of it for you now, so you can refresh your memory.
Did you read the classified section of the newspaper, Rocky?
Yeah, I did.
There is some person who is such an
I need to
egomaniac.
borrow some money because I need to buy this new car that was previously owned by Sean Balint.
There's a
as it
person
says in the advertisement.
who is such an egomaniac.
George Washington slept here, and Sean Balint owned this car.
Such an egomaniac.
So that's the bit I played before the show started. Do you remember that, Sean?
I do indeed.
Do you remember how it ended?
I don't actually.
I'm going to fast forward. Listen to Rocky's line that ends it all.
The fatter, taller version of Jim.
Either has his name on the back of his clothes or else the
You are a fatter, taller, heterosexual version of Jim. That's all it is.
I lost on Mike.
Even the goatee, we should start calling him BJ for
Yeah.
Brunette Jim.
Yeah.
So let's welcome BJ Balint to the show. How are you, Sean?
Oh, miserable as always.
We are glad you're joining us. You
you're welcome.
You saw the IHSA thing yesterday, I noticed. I saw on Facebook.
What a mess, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, why is everybody so
Can't win.
up
I mean, there's nothing. There's no good solution.
why is everybody so angry about it?
Well, the thing is, I mean, whether you like the governor or agree with the governor, people say, don't they know how important it is? Well, importance has nothing to do with it. I mean, there's no political gain.
Yeah.
There's no there's no secret group. Hey, we're the lobbying group who wants to have high school football camp. Well, there might be a few who want to make it touch football, but there's nobody trying to get volleyball canceled. I mean, there's no political payoff. That's the thing. I always say my big rule of thumb is in politics, I call it look at the outfielder. If the ball has home run potential, you won't embarrass yourself by screaming if you look at the outfielder. If they're looking up, unless the humidity or a wind current catches it, you kind of know what you're dealing with. Well, in politics, if coronavirus was a hoax, the Republicans would have been standing on their desks on day one. And the same thing here. I mean, what's the political gain of canceling football and graduation?
And they're not canceling it.
All
They're just moving it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not being canceled. It's just moving.
The Illinois high school version of the XFL.
Yeah. So I don't understand the people that are mother effing Pritzker. And that's what I'm seeing.
They just hate change.
Yeah. It's a lot of F Pritzker. It's a lot of stuff like that on Facebook. And then this is why he had to do it. Okay. Like I saw one guy was saying, this is the decision that needs to be left up to the parents and the players themselves as to whether. No, it isn't a decision. Because when I was a 16-year-old kid.
Yes, but there's a pandemic. Let's leave it up to the coach.
Yeah. When I was a 16-year-old kid playing basketball, if you'd have told me, here's your options. Either you play and you risk getting what could be a life-ending virus, or we don't play. We cancel the season. Or everyone else plays but you. What are you going to choose? If you're a 16-year-old, of course you're going to choose to play. Or if you're a parent whose life depends on your child playing sports, you're too close to it. So I got to be honest. This is the governor putting on the big boy pants and saying, listen, we can't trust you to make a good decision. So I'm going to make it for you. We're moving the season.
And the sad part is in this day and age, too, if there was one, 18-year-old, 17-year-old that stood up and said, I don't feel comfortable with this, you better believe they would be ridiculed.
Absolutely.
They would go worldwide. They would be disgraced. They would get called every name in the book by grown-ass adults with TV shows.
Yes, I'm telling you. I can tell you from experience. That an adult male will call you a pussy if you are going to miss a football season, or if a decision that you made is going to somehow cost them maybe the chance at a win or something. They will verbally assault you. That's just
you'll become an anti-celebrity pretty much.
Yeah, it's horrible. So the governor took the decision out of the hands, and they delayed everything. And I don't understand the people attacking this guy. He's the one being the adult here. In all seriousness, if it's even I have a child who just got out of high school. There is no no activity she was involved in high school. In fact, if she was still in high school, she wouldn't be going. I would keep her home. It's not even a question. I see every day teenagers catching this disease. It would not even be a question. The decision is easy. We're going to go with the decision of safety. I don't care. And there are so many people that are like, I'll be goddamned if my son isn't going to play high school football his senior year because of some fucking
loud and they are using that voice
because of some fucking pussy Chinese virus. That's the stuff.
Whatever sounds tough. That's the mantra.
That's what they're doing. And so we don't.
Here's how you respond to these people. Illinois, love it or leave it.
We want to take the decision out of their hands. And I'm telling you, anybody who has a pipe dream that your kid's going to be somehow going the full school year, you're out of your goddamn mind. Do you know yesterday, Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, yesterday Sangamon County had the biggest day of infections. Was yesterday, right?
Yeah.
The single biggest day of COVID infections in the state of in the county of Sangamon was yesterday. We're not getting better. We're getting worse. If you somehow
we just keep going, like,
if you
it's like it's like a train, where I'm from in Granite City, where you think it's moving and then it stops. And then it goes in reverse a little bit, and you're waiting on this train, and you think you're going to get somewhere, and then it stops, and then it goes this way again a little bit, and then it stops.
If people,
like that.
If we would just wear masks, and I got to be honest, I mean, I love bars and restaurants. I'm like everybody else. Sure, getting out of the house is nice, getting something to eat is nice, but people, if you can't figure out what's causing the uptick, I got to tell you. If you can't figure out what's causing it, I don't know what to tell you. Please, it's obviously bars and restaurants that are causing this uptick. Because number one, you can't wear a mask because you got to eat or you have to drink. Number two, if you're drunk, you're not making good decisions on how to socially distance. You're drunk.
Well, aren't there coughing parties that are going on somewhere in Florida too?
It's such bullshit.
That's probably not helping.
I'm telling you, it's crazy.
And you've seen those blacklight demonstrations when you speak and then you speak in an amplified voice, how things fly. So, of course, in a bar, you can't hear each other. So then hey, can I have my such and such on the rocks?
It is.
So that's the other thing. You're screaming to be heard. So that's the other thing. You're just shooting cannons of pustules or whatever the hell, droplets or whatever. It's just it's bad news.
Rob says that they've had a record number in Morgan County in the last week. Yeah, it's getting worse here. If you
go to Cass County, the positivity rate is insane.
If you think we're going to have high school football, you're out your goddamn mind.
And the ages when this whole thing started, man in his 70s, woman in their 80s, man in his 90s, and now it's kids 10 to 19, kid under 10, 20 to 29, in their 30s, in their 40s.
And they're finding out now that this isn't just a respiratory disease like they thought it was. Like they thought it was a respiratory disease. As it turns out, they're finding out now it's a vascular disease and a cardiovascular disease. And they don't even, in other words, they don't even know what the hell this is. Which, by the way, I don't know how the hell they're making a vaccine for it. If you're not even sure what the hell it is. As it's still expanding stuff. And it's certainly, listen, it isn't a great chance. It's not like it's 80% your kid's going to get it. No, but I don't care. As long as there's any chance, the life of my child any chance at all. If there's any chance at all, I'm not.
I've seen
risking
enough
it.
pictures that I've seen enough pictures going, I don't want my kid in that hospital room.
Yeah.
They'll break me. My 6-year-old? Hell no.
I'm telling you, I have a brother-in-law right now. By the way, my brother-in-law still has it. You guys remember how long ago I told you he caught it? He still has it. He still can't walk. He still can't
It's
taste.
been longer than 14 days.
He can't breathe. He can't smell. He can't taste. He's got problems with his blood flow or whatever, his blood circulation. He can't. He's having trouble walking still. Now, the good news is his lungs aren't as bad as they were when it started, but everything else. He has chest pains now. Guy's 44 years old. And he was in pretty good health. My nephew's a college football player. I mean, this is how healthy the man is. His son plays college football. The man is he's still got COVID, and it's been over a month. I'm telling you, this is nothing to mess around with.
Well, and there were 32 new cases as of yesterday in Sangamon County, and more than half were under 30.
See, that's scary. I can't even believe it's an issue. I really.
That's what's embarrassing. And then you look at it on a world scale, and I mean, we just look so bad. You've got so many people that are like convinced that school should be going on. Well, there's no question about it. These kids should be back in school. Are you out of your goddamn mind? There's just no question.
There's
because that's what always happens. So we have to do that.
In my world, there's nothing more precious in my world than my child. I can't believe there are parents that even have to think about it. I'm shocked, guys. I really am. Nick, you have a young son. I mean, your son's young. Is there any doubt in your mind you're going to keep him home?
Well, they've already announced the curriculum. I mean, he'll go to school for 2 days for 5 hours, and then the rest of the time will be home.
Yeah. I got to be honest, man.
And right now, that's our only option as far as, you know, me and my wife's work schedule that will work. Luckily, I have a daycare provider who's only taking grade school kids right now that can possibly help with the curriculum on days that, say, my wife has to go to court for work, or I have to travel out of town. So
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I mean, to me, it's not even a question, let alone to have people complaining because college football or high school football, and they're not canceling the season. Sean, when is high school?
Just push it back.
Yeah, when's high school football going to be?
Not yet.
March to May, at least for the time being.
So March through May. So they're still going to have a high school football season next spring. So they still have plenty of time to cancel it. But big deal. If you play in March or May, or if you play now, what's the big deal?
Sure, Jan.
It just means we're not going to have high school football to watch in the fall. Get over yourself.
No, it's the parents that want their kids to end up being in the NFL somehow, or into get a scholarship to college.
They could still go to the NFL if they play from March to May, is just as easy as they can if they play from September to October.
It's just everyone's afraid of change.
Yeah, I just don't understand it because they'll be affected. By the way, it's nicer weather in March and April. You won't have to sit out in October cold games. Screw that. However, I do know some radio companies that are freaking out because radio companies are not making any money now, you know, because advertising.
They should be used to that.
Yeah, advertising's tough, you know, and they were waiting on high school football to give them, you know, a little influx of revenue. They were waiting on high school football to give it to them, and now it's not. Well, I'm sorry. Maybe make a deal and run your Major League Baseball team playoffs. If Major League Baseball stays playing.
Oh, man.
Because I'm telling you, it's not even a question. The safety of your children or our children, the safety of them is much more important than it shouldn't even be a question than your inconvenience.
You know, and I want to credit the Cardinals with being very proactive because they have announced that their offense will be taking off the entire season.
That's very good. That's nice of them. Yeah, they figured.
Yeah.
They figured times are stressful enough. They don't want to put people through the stress of the playoffs. So they're like, let's just lose all the games, and now we won't have to worry about the playoffs.
Well, you know, I mean, it's very kind, too, because the lack of Cardinals on the base paths has increased social distancing, too.
Hey, Sean, I love your Cardinals. I bet against them last night and won.
Man, I'm telling you.
By the way, I've been putting money on the Minnesota Twins and winning. Winning with those Twins, babe. I've been twinning. Anybody who does
my main man, Jake Odorizzi, good dude.
Anybody who does some gambling, here's my advice: put money on the Twins. They're a hot team.
Futures bet, you think?
Yeah, I think the Twins are for real. But what do I know? But I'm saying pick the Twins to win. You'll win more times a week than you'll lose. Anyway, so that was a big news yesterday, right? Is we broke a record in Sangamon County. Hey, how is it, Rocky? What county do you live in?
Madison.
You're Granite City's in Madison? What are the numbers?
Live in Granite City.
No, I don't know I don't know which town you live in now. I don't know.
I live in Madison County.
Oh, okay. Well, but I know where Madison County is. Is Granite City in Madison County? I don't know. All right. So it is. Thank you. So there was nothing I said that deserved to be laughed at. I was correct when I said, oh, Granite City's in Madison County.
But you inferred that I lived in Granite City.
I'm sorry that I inferred you lived there. But I was correct in what I said. But what
you guys are friends, aren't you?
Yeah. Yes.
You want to talk about something creepy? They got the high school down there.
Friends.
High school's like 30% occupied, like this big, massive high school.
But what's the numbers? What's Madison County?
A bunch of empty classrooms.
What's Madison County's like? What's Madison County like for COVID?
Madison County? You know, St. Clair County is the worst, and then Randolph County, where Sparta and the trap shooting complex are. They've got Randolph County is really bad, Redbud, that area, but St. Clair County is really pushing the case totals. And then Madison County is tough positivity rate over 7%. St. Clair's well over 7%. And Madison County, I mean, the deaths have slowed down a little bit, but they've had some real nursing home issues in Madison County. But, you know, problems outside of it, too. But that Granite City, Pontoon Beach, Collinsville areas have been hit hard, and it's been a tough road to hoe.
All I know is in Sangamon County, we're breaking records. Woo! Every day we're breaking records. But the most important thing is high school football.
Yes.
Oh, my
Let's throw a ball, man. Throw a ball around.
Anyway, what
somebody was saying the other day we need to get back to high school football because it teaches teamwork.
Oh,
how about the teamwork of being a country that all works together
yes.
and eradicate the disease?
That's trying to kill a pandemic. And we have people that are debating masks. They're mask debating.
We have let's face it, let's be real. We have people that are trying to become internet sensations by making videos, walking in with swastika masks and no mask and whatever, and then we have people watching those videos that think these people are somehow heroes when they're basically just attention whores.
We have people in this country who think the most important thing is whether our president looks good or bad. We have people that are. You just got what?
I just got a news report. Herman Cain died after a month-long battle with coronavirus.
Herman Cain died. That's horrible. Yeah. It's horrible. You guys, I'm telling you. This corona is for real. The COVID is for real. Stop believing it's a hoax. You look like a moron. Every time I see these assholes on Facebook, sharing nonsense, I just think, what the hell are you going to do when this stuff gets worse? I just think, and I'm like, I pray for them and say, they're going to look just like that one guy. Remember the guy that died last week? They had all those posts he had made about how COVID was a hoax and all this stuff. The fucker died of it. Yep. I'm like, when you're out there sharing that stuff and you eventually die from it, what the hell are you going to do then? Herman Cain was a denier. When he went to that Trump rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Am I right? That's what happened. And then he got COVID, and now he's dead. I mean, come on.
By the way, he was the guy that I was joking about an hour ago when you said Jim got all those pizzas from the guy who ran Godfathers, and I said,
right. It was him. You're right. It was Herman Cain.
He was probably dying as I made that joke. That's terrible.
He probably did.
Way to go, Rocky. You made the last joke of Herman Cain while he was still alive. Congratulations.
Wow.
It's horrible. I can't believe that people. We live in a society where this is even an issue. Son of a bitch.
Well, and people think that nothing happening or dying are the only two options when a lot of these health effects are permanent.
Yes. And yeah. Oh, and Yellow Fury says everyone's going to die. Okay, but I'd rather not do it now. Yes, you're right. One day I will die. You're right. But I don't want it to be now, and I don't want it to be from not being able to breathe. You know what I mean? If I
want it to be from something fun.
Yes. Why can't I be like sexed?
And I don't want it to be slow.
Yeah, I don't want it to be where I can't breathe and my lungs eventually crust up and I can't even breathe and I have to suffocate. I'd rather that not be the death, or I'd rather not be.
You want to go out
from some sort of heart
blaze of glory, not disease.
I'd rather have it not be from my heart not working, or from circulation problems and all the pain. I
want it to be because there was a mishap when I tried to take the motorcycle through the hoop of fire or something. That's the way to go.
There's a lot better deaths than COVID. Why? I don't want it to be now, and I don't want it to be from COVID.
Hey, Sean, are you selling masks that you've worn at a premium?
This mask was once owned by Sean Balint.
Right.
This mask was owned by Radio Sean Balint. Oh, my God.
If it does contain the COVID virus, it's the Balint version, so.
So it's the cheap version.
Balint strain.
I'm telling you guys, it's not even, with me, it's not even an issue. Yellow Fury's saying that he got in trouble with HR his first day back to work. Let me guess what Yellow Fury was. Let me guess what Yellow Fury. Would anybody like to take a guess at what he did to get in trouble? I'm sure it's because he refused to wear a mask or something like that. Or he thought it would be. I'm sorry, I thought it'd be funny if I gave everyone wet willies to welcome them back to work. Some type of inappropriate.
Giving people herpes is so yesterday.
I'll tell you.
I was going to go with sexual harassment.
Me too. I was like, he's probably pestering the guys in the video booth when you're just supposed to be here to mop the floor, dude.
Yeah, he was busted for not wearing a mask. Yeah. I'm telling you, people, you got to take it real. Stop. I mean,
that's not going to happen. People having way too much fun. People having too much fun. It's not going to be a problem until it affects them personally. And then it's going to be, oh, my God, well, nobody will help.
Yeah. Here's what it's going to be. Those goddamn libtards never told us how serious this was. The goddamn libtards.
Well, how can you believe them? They lied so much. How are we supposed to know they were telling you know?
You know whose fault it is going to be? That fucking Obama.
Right.
Listen, we wouldn't have died. We wouldn't have had so many people die from this if it wasn't for Obama.
This is because of Hiller's emails.
You know, the cure from COVID was erased by Hillary Clinton's emails. When she scrapped the emails, she erased it.
It all started with a virus in Hillary's emails. That was the origin of the COVID, was a virus in Hillary's emails.
Unbelievable. It's insane.
The one that she sent from the pizza sex shop.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I really don't.
That's what I'm saying. People are having too much fun. Pizza sex shops, you know.
I don't. We're more concerned. They're more concerned about imaginary pedophilia by Tom Hanks than they are.
Tom Hanks.
Have you not seen that?
No.
And Lady Gaga.
Oh yeah, there's a QAnon conspiracy. There's a QAnon conspiracy that somehow Tom Hanks is involved in some kind of pedophilia thing. And
Elon Musk and Bill Gates are lovers.
Yeah, and they're more concerned with bullshit like that than they are about a disease that is active right now and killing people and can be slowed down if we simply wear a mask. I was working out yesterday.
Because we've seen other parts of the world do it.
Yes.
It's like
we have scientific proof that it works. We look
so foolish right now.
We've seen places that we've referred to as shithole countries like Vietnam take their infection rate down to 0.
Well, that's because in some of those places they don't have the luxuries like we have here to choose. You don't want to wear a mask. I want to make a cute video. The police come out and shoot you.
Yeah, the government has told them.
Drag you off.
The government has told them, wear a fucking mask or we'll shoot. Well, now they have the infections down to 0. And here in the United States, where we get to debate things like, oh, I don't want to wear no mask. It's a hoax. This is just trying to cost Trump the election. If you haven't figured out,
what government comes up with, how is this a hoax when it covers your face? That just messes up with the facial recognition.
Yesterday,
why would the government come up with a hoax that you have to cover your face up?
Yesterday, I was working out. I'm a 400-pounder. I work out every day, but I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to better myself. I'm working out, and I'm on the sit-up machine, okay? And I'm doing these sit-ups, and they're very hard for me to do, but I'm knocking them out. Because the next machine I was going to do, the guy sitting in the machine, he doesn't have a fucking mask on. And I'm like, I want to go over there and use that machine next to him, but I'm not going to be anywhere near this fat old bastard who refuses to wear a mask.
Puffing and puffing going.
Yeah, he's got his Trump 2020 shirt on. He's pumping away on this machine, and like Rocky says, he's breathing like, and spittles are coming out of his mouth. I don't know what this guy has. I'll be damned if I ended up doing 400 fucking I ended up doing so many sit-ups, my stomach was on fire.
Yes, that 400 was immediately qualified into so many.
Listen, it was 400 sit-ups are tough for me, but that's what I did. And I was lifting, and then I was doing curls and flies in between the sets of sit-ups I was doing. And because the whole reason was I didn't want to go over and use the machine because this guy wasn't masked. Even though I was masked up, I still didn't trust this guy's spittle to get on me somehow. So I didn't want to go anywhere near there. I mean, we've got to wear a mask. Jesus Christ. And they might want to start doing something to people that don't.
And it's like it's for your country. I mean, people used to be asked to do a lot more, and all you're being asked to do is put a mask on.
Yeah.
It's like,
wear the fucking mask. Jesus, who?
Can you imagine this attitude at work with if it was World War II? Could you imagine this attitude?
We would have lost.
Oh, we would have lost.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
I'm not going to buy no bonds. That's a government conspiracy.
We've been invaded immediately.
I'm not going to eat off rations. That's a government. You know.
Why the hell?
Turns out I've been right about not going to the gym all this time.
I'm telling you, it's very safe. I mean, I do go to Fit Club. It's extremely safe. But this particular guy not wearing his mask was bullshit. I'm not going to go anywhere near that guy in the gym. Nowhere near him. And it affected my working out. Should have taken one of those big.
Well, that's where you're running. That's where you're running into a couple of the quandaries of this too, because I think some people have a hard time working out with a mask. I know I have a hard time doing anything with my nose being covered.
I'm for
and then the bars thing. Like people want bars and restaurants. That's the other thing. It's like I don't know how you have someone wear a mask in a bar. You know.
Listen.
It's just you're constantly using your mouth. Some of these places, I just don't. If this thing intensifies, I don't know how you keep it open. I don't know how you keep some places. Some places.
By the
open
way,
because
I'm 400 pounds, and I do cardiovascular workout and weights. I wear a mask the whole time. Yes, your breath is a little warmer, but I still get more than enough breath. It doesn't prevent me from breathing at all. It just makes it sometimes it's a little uncomfortable. You can live.
Yeah, it depends on the person. I know for me, I couldn't.
Well, you just stay.
I mean, there's some things.
Then stay home.
Some things
You don't have to wear a mask at home.
I've been doing that quite well, actually. I have not been a threat to the public health. I have not been a threat in the dating circles. I have been an incredible, and my whole life has trained me for this moment.
And a patriot.
Absolutely.
I like to think that I'm a patriot. I'm doing my part for the country by staying home.
And I hear
by being alone, don't being interested in my company.
And I hear these people, and I see it on Facebook where they're saying this is just a plot to get cost Donald Trump the election. The pandemic doesn't give a fuck about Donald Trump.
First of all, Donald Trump's going to be reelected, so that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, it would, as I said the other day, it would not.
This is a country that, above anything else,
would not
wants
surprise
to be entertained.
Me. Yeah.
Trump brings the entertainment.
It would not surprise me if that asshole is reelected.
He did hint. What was it today? He's looking at the merits of delaying the election, or at least hinting at such a thing.
I just don't understand. I really don't understand it. I really don't.
6 months ago, Sean was a loser, but now he is an inspiration. Doing his part.
Try.
Be like Sean.
I have been social. As part of a cooperative with the CDC and the World Health Organization, have practiced social distancing for 22 years.
I'm telling you.
I'm sorry. And the great
horns and a snare drum with that.
I'm just
the women
befuddled.
The women of this region have also participated. They have also social distance from me.
By the way, all I gotta do is look at you, and I know you're a carrier. You just know that Sean is all COVIDed up. I got to tell you. And by the way, this COVID's going to, if Trump loses, it's not going to have anything to do with you wearing a mask or not. It'll probably do with the fact that he's a pussy to Russia. I mean, I've heard more people that are Republicans that I speak to who are more bothered with the whole fact of this this whole thing with Russia giving a bounty or something, putting a bounty on the heads of American soldiers, and Trump's such a pussy, he hasn't even brought it up to Putin yet. I hear more Republicans that are angry about that than they are with anything Trump has done with COVID. So if he does lose, it's going to be for stuff like that. So don't think that you're somehow you're going to help the president get elected by not wearing a mask. That's ridiculous. You're going to hurt him.
I didn't realize that Herman Cain got the infection at that Tulsa rally.
Yeah, he got it that's why they canceled the rallies. He got sick at the Trump rally. And it killed the guy.
Can't wait to see how they spin this one.
Oh,
that's what it's all about for me. Just waiting for the spin.
Yeah, and it'll come. And Trump will. It's certainly not going to be Trump's fault. It'll be everybody else but him.
Yeah, no.
He would have said, "Oh, he should have worn a mask then."
Yeah. And by the way, Yellow Fury saying I did a few weeks ago. that I heard that Trump did talk to. Listen, Trump just gave an Axios interview yesterday on Axios where he said he's talked to Putin twice and he has not brought it up yet. He admitted he has not brought it up because he doesn't believe it. He told them he doesn't believe.
Sit down.
He doesn't believe the stuff that his own
government, his own people,
intelligence agency told him happened. That he doesn't believe them because he believes that they are some type of Obama loyalist or something, I imagine. But I mean, let's not even talk about how un-American it is for a president to not believe his own intelligence. That should be frightening enough. But he told Axios that that's the reason he didn't bring it up. And that sounds like that's pure bullshit. That's what's going to cost him the election.
Well, I don't know if you saw it. I don't know if this was this morning or yesterday, but he tweeted that he wants to delay the election.
Because of what?
Because of COVID.
Oh, fraud. Because of the hoax.
No fraud.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Fraud.
Oh, because of mail-in ballots?
Yep.
The same way.
Who didn't see that coming, though? It's getting to the point where it's getting a little predictable.
You mean from the way that he voted? He's voted by mail. From the way our soldiers vote. From the way I voted mail-in ballot several times in my life. First times when I was in college. The first time I voted was mail-in ballot. I did an absentee ballot. That's mail-in ballot. And he's got he has such distrust of the mail system, I guess. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't know. Oh, well. Sean, thank you. All you do is you get all these Trumpers all riled up every time you're on. Thank you, BJ.
Hey, I have some shirts that I've outgrown that have been worn by radio personality Sean Blunt. I'd like to sell.
So he has some 5Xs that he's got shirts that he's outgrown. So he has some 5Xs for sale. If anybody wants one.
By the way, that Sean Blunt car has not been touched by Recon Tech, so it still has all of Sean Blunt essence in the car.
I should have asked Derek if he could get shit stains. I imagine if they could get blood out of seats, that they could also get shit stains out, right? I imagine that somehow, yeah.
I try to leave enough DNA so that they can, replicate me when I'm gone.
That's why they saved Elvis's last loaf. Elvis's last loaf is floating in formaldehyde in case they ever want to clone him.
I can't help falling unconscious with you.
By the way, in the chat room, they're saying, Sean, I'll take a shirt. Makes a good car cover. All right, that's offensive.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will only hurt me if you're anyway, female.
A stick, well, I guess a stick, yeah. Nightclub.
I don't know. So football delayed.
I don't know.
Football delayed. Life will go on.
Yeah, I won't be, I'm
Herman
still not
Cain
sure what I'm doing football season whenever it happens, but I figure I'll be back at SHG just on principle.
Herman Cain is dead. He caught COVID at the Trump rally in Oklahoma. And by the way, I'm not saying that he caught it at the Trump rally to somehow bash Trump. I'm just saying it because as a reference point of that's how long it's been. If you remember, the Trump rally in Oklahoma wasn't that long ago. The man,
June 20th.
Yeah, that's when he caught COVID.
Wow.
Now today he died. So I'm not blaming Trump for him catching COVID. That's ridiculous. No, the president doesn't have COVID. To say he caught it from Trump would be inaccurate. And it also means that Trump didn't cough on him. No, it means that he was there on that day, and that's when he caught it. And now he's dead. Literally, that was a month ago.
his idiotic followers did,
Yeah.
not him.
But I mean, but it was a little over a month ago. It wasn't all that long ago when it happened. That's what's scary. And I'm just saying, we don't want to. I mean, look what it's. We don't want it to happen to our kids. There's no question. Oh well. Adam wants to know if Nikki still needs shit for the fecal transplants. Yeah, we should use Elvis's last loaf.
Question is, does Nikki still need a laptop?
She was. I believe the laptop was going to be. I don't know where Nikki is today. I believe the laptop was going to be delivered, but I haven't talked to her. I don't know. She hadn't even texted me. Maybe she knows we were talking about it. She might have found out I was talking about her yesterday. Because when Rob was over, he was testing everything, and we were talking about Nikki's sound level, and I was very frustrated with the sound levels of everything on the show yesterday. And we might have taken some shots at Nikki. Maybe if Rob left the mic on, maybe she heard them. That would be my luck, by the way. I was really talking bad about her and her phone. That might have been, maybe that's what happened. Who knows? She's busy eating ice cream sandwiches and over-calibrating is what's going on. Over-modulating.
Oh, it's going to get ugly.
No, I'm sure that Nikki's probably just sick. She's always sick. And she's also upset at me because Rocky made a good point saying Nikki should be on cam. And I agreed. Yeah, she should be on cam. And I think she was really opposed to it because she says that would make her have to get up earlier to put on makeup and stuff. You don't need makeup. I mean, I'm not wearing makeup.
Nope.
Rocky's not wearing makeup.
Not either.
We're on camera right now. We look fine.
Well, I mean, you don't have to necessarily have the camera up close and personal and whatever, and just have something on so we know that who's on and who's talking.
I got a message from Doran last night telling me why she wouldn't be on the show today. I got no message from Nikki. So I don't know why she's not here. But I don't know. Rob's saying
she's worried about makeup, but not admitting that she eats ice cream sandwiches for breakfast.
No, she admitted she ate ice cream sandwiches. Pete says she's always upset when Rocky makes a good point. Yeah, you're right. She does seem to get, since Rocky's joined the show, she seems to get highly irritated whenever he makes a good point. That is true. I'll admit to that. Yeah. She seems to get very irritated.
She can turn the lights way down. It doesn't have to be some spotlit,
Yeah.
Back far away, just something.
Just trying to help her out a little bit. That's all. All right, tomorrow is the all right. I think I got Nick. Can you get a couple minutes to talk to me today? Because I think I have the Patreon set up, but I'm not sure. And I don't know if he knows or not, but I want to make sure it's set up and or maybe Rocky, I should be talking to you. Do you have a Patreon account?
Yes.
Maybe we should use yours because I told you the transference of money might be a pain in the ass. We might want to use what you have set up.
Oh, I have as an account. It's just it takes a minute to sign up, basically.
Well, let's talk at some point today, and so we can start the subscriptions tomorrow. I would like to. I don't know. Do we want to record the show tomorrow at this time? Do we want to record it tomorrow at this time?
Yeah.
All right. Let's plan on a show for tomorrow, at least with us. We'll record it if we can, or whatever. We'll figure it all out. But people, tune in. That's all I can say is I don't know if we'll be, if you'll be able to watch it live or not, but we're probably going to do a show. So either get a chance to subscribe and do it, or I'm looking at a way to get a private URL through Facebook or through YouTube or whatever. We will figure it out. But either way, the show we'll do a show tomorrow for sure. All right? It will either be recorded.
I'll think of some new Sean Billent used items to sell.
Oh, we can't wait. Let's hope that there's plenty of
Sean Billent used car, $15,000.
or at the very least some good Forex football jerseys that people will have a chance to buy from our buddy Sean Billent.
Yes, the Sandy close on the sale.
All right, so we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Either it'll be your first chance to subscribe or not. All right. We'll wrap up today just because I'm trying to figure out how to use this YouTube. There's a whole YouTube private link and somehow projecting it to just people that have subscriptions. So pay attention to Morning Disaster Facebook page today, and you guys will figure out what's going on.
Yeah, you probably just want to leave it on Patreon. Just put it on Patreon.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right?
Subscribers, they would have Patreon access anyway. So,
but that's what I mean. I'll put all the information on the Facebook page, so that way it'll direct you to where you have to subscribe.
Right.
All right. So there you go, everybody. That'll be coming up tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening. For the rest of us, let's go home and talk to you guys later. Bye.
You better wake up, sleepyhead, and get your fat butt out of bed. There's a man who got up at 4 a.m. just to play you Zeppelin and Pearl Jam. Raymond Lytle is his name. Some have called him just a bit insane. Well, you may find him a little idiotic, but his is the only morning show you can say has really got it. Slam the door, turn the key, get on the road now. With Central Illinois, morning way to get down. It's nasty, it's dirty, but it's funny, 'cause it's the Raymond Lytle's Morning Disaster. He's lewd, he's rude, he's crude, but it doesn't matter, 'cause he's the morning master of rock and roll and laughter. Raymond Lytle's Morning Disaster. Sean Billent's got herpes sores. Bodine's running down North Grand in his undershorts. Michelle will dwell on things colored pink and purple. They'll explain why Jim made a remake of that movie called The Black Hole. Slam the door, turn the key, get on the road now. The Central Illinois morning way to get down. It's nasty, it's dirty, but it's funny, 'cause it's the Raymond Lytle's Morning Disaster. He's lewd, he's rude, he's crude, but it doesn't matter, 'cause he's the morning master of rock and roll and laughter. Raymond Lytle's Morning Disaster.
That's going to wrap it up today, everybody. The Ray Lytle Morning Disaster Show has come to an end. We'll start the replay. For those of you just listening to the audio feed, we'll start the replay just right now. All right? For those of you watching on
What time
Facebook,
is
stick
that?
around. That replay will start in a moment. You guys have a great rest of your Thursday. So long.